As the echoes of creation faded, something vast and eternal began to grow. From the depths of Ginnungagap, the primordial void that once stretched endlessly between worlds, a great presence stirred. As Yggdrasil's branches unfurled, they cradled these nascent worlds, nurturing them into being. The realms, distinct yet interconnected, formed a delicate balance within the embrace of the world tree. Yggdrasil, the world tree, rose from the center of creation, its branches reaching into the infinite expanse above and its roots delving deep into the ancient forces below. Around this cosmic axis, the 9 realms began to take shape, each realm a unique thread in the tapestry of existence, and rivers of molten rock carved their way through a landscape of perpetual conflagration. The fire giants, led by the fearsome Surtur, awaited the day when they would march forth to bring about Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. Its icy peaks and treacherous valleys echoed with the footsteps of beings as old as creation itself. Alfheim, home to the light elves, glowed with an ethereal radiance. Svartalfheim, realm of the dwarves, ancient prophecies whispered of a time when this delicate balance would be shattered. Ragnarok, the final battle that would consume gods and giants alike, loomed on the distant horizon. But for now, the 9 realms basked in the protective embrace of the world tree, each playing its part in the grand cosmic drama. Echoed with the sound of hammers on anvils as master craftsmen forged wonders beyond mortal ken. Vanaheim, domain of the Vanir gods, pulsed with the raw power of nature and magic. The Jötnar, ancient rivals of the Æsir, dwelled here in uneasy coexistence with the cosmic order, the realm of the dishonorable dead. Here, in this place of gloom and sorrow, those who did not die in battle were condemned to a cheerless existence under the watchful eye of Hel, daughter of Loki. At the crown of Yggdrasil stood Asgard, realm of the Æsir gods. Golden halls and shimmering spires pierced the celestial firmament, linking disparate worlds and forces into a cohesive whole. The world tree was more than mere vegetation. It was the very embodiment of existence itself, a living conduit to which the energies of creation flowed, a beacon of divine power and authority, a world of vast oceans, towering mountains, and verdant forests. It was here that humanity would arise and carve out their destiny. Its very existence was a testament to the intricate interplay of order and chaos, light and darkness, fire and ice. And as long as the world tree stood, the 9 realms would endure, bound together in an eternal dance of cosmic harmony. Midgard stood as a crossroads between realms, a place where the influence of gods, giants, and other cosmic forces converged. Here, the All-Father Odin held court, surrounded by his pantheon of deities. The Rainbow Bridge Bifrost stretched from Asgard's gates, a celestial pathway connecting the gods to the other realms. They tapped into the primordial forces that predated even the world tree itself. To the north, they drank from the wellspring of Hvergelmir and Niflheim, realm of mist and eternal cold. Here, in this land of perpetual twilight, icy rivers flowed and frost giants roamed the frozen wastes. Midgard, the realm of mortals, nestled in the middle branches of Yggdrasil. In the lower reaches of the world tree lay Jötunheim, realm of the giants, a land of primal chaos and untamed wilderness, as Yggdrasil's roots plunged ever deeper. To the south, Yggdrasil's roots brushed against the fiery realm of Muspelheim. Seas of flame lapped at shores of ash. Between these extremes of fire and ice, the other realms took shape. In the deepest shadows beneath Yggdrasil's roots lay Helheim. Throughout the 9 realms, Yggdrasil stood as a symbol of cosmic balance and connection. Its branches and roots formed a vast network, yet even as Yggdrasil flourished, from the highest golden spire of Asgard to the deepest, darkest root in Niflheim, Yggdrasil pulsed with the lifeblood of creation. Upon the quiet shores of Midgard, something new stirred beneath the trees. The world, still raw and untamed, held its breath as the first whispers of humanity began to take shape. In the dappled light of an ancient forest, where the roots of Yggdrasil reached deep into the earth, 3 divine figures stood in solemn contemplation. Odin, the All-Father, his single eye gleaming with wisdom, gazed upon two trees that stood apart from the rest. An ash, tall and proud, its branches reaching for the sky, and beside it, an elm, graceful and strong. These were no ordinary trees, for within their wooden forms lay the potential for something greater. With a nod to his brothers, Vili and Vili, Odin approached the ash and elm. Their hands, imbued with the power of creation, reached out to touch the rough bark. As their fingers traced the contours of the wood, it began to shift and change, taking on new forms beneath their divine touch. Slowly, from the very essence of the trees, two figures emerged. Limbs unfurled, torsos took shape, and features began to form. From the ash came a man, his frame strong and unyielding. From the elm, a woman, her form lithe and resilient. They stood motionless, these wooden beings, awaiting the spark of life. Odin stepped forward, his presence filling the clearing with an otherworldly energy. He leaned close to the wooden figures and breathed upon them, his breath carrying the very essence of life itself. As his exhalation washed over them, color began to bloom in their cheeks, and their chests rose and fell with the first stirrings of breath. Next came Vili, his eyes alight with the fires of thought and reason. He placed his hands upon the brows of the wooden pair, and as he did so, a spark ignited within them. Minds awakened, filled with curiosity and wonder. The gift of intellect, of consciousness, flowed into them like water into parched earth. Lastly, Vili approached, his touch gentle yet profound. He traced his fingers over the eyes, ears, and lips of the wooden beings, and as he did so, their senses awakened. The world around them came into sharp focus, the whisper of wind through leaves, the earthy scent of the forest floor, the warmth of sunlight on their skin. For a moment, all was still. Then, with a gasp that seemed to echo through the very fabric of creation, the wooden figures drew their first true breath. Their eyes fluttered open, taking in the world around them with wonder and awe. They were no longer mere wood, but flesh and blood, thought and feeling. The man, whom the gods named Ask, looked upon his hands with amazement, flexing fingers that moments ago had been nothing more than branches. Beside him, the woman, Embla, reached out to touch the bark of the tree from which she had been born, marveling at the texture beneath her newfound sense of touch. Around them, the forest seemed to pulse with life and possibility. The raw beauty of the new world stretched out before them, a canvas awaiting the first strokes of human experience. Birds called from the treetops, their songs a welcoming chorus to the first of humankind. Beneath their feet, the earth thrummed with potential, as if sensing the momentous change that had occurred. Odin, Vili, and Vi stood back, watching as Ask and Embla took their first tentative steps into the world. The All-Father's voice, deep and resonant, filled the clearing as he spoke of their purpose. From you, he intoned, shall spring the races of men. Your children will fill the lands of Midgard, shaping their own destinies and weaving the tapestry of human history. Vili's words followed, imbuing Ask and Embla with the drive to seek knowledge, to question, and to understand the world around them. Your minds are a gift, he told them. Use them to unravel the mysteries of existence, to create, and to grow. His gentle tones completed the divine pronouncement, speaking of the joys and sorrows that their senses would bring them. Through your eyes, ears, and hearts, he said, you will experience the fullness of life. Cherish each moment, for in your experiences lies the beauty of being human. As the echoes of the gods' words faded, Ask and Embla stood hand in hand, poised on the threshold of human destiny. Before them lay endless possibilities, a world waiting to be explored, understood, and shaped by their hands and the hands of their descendants. And so, upon the quiet shores of Midgard, beneath the watchful gaze of the gods, the saga of humanity began. From two trees, life had sprung forth, and with it, the promise of a future yet unwritten. Ask and Embla, the first man and woman, took their first steps into legend, carrying with them the divine gifts of life, mind, and sense as the very essence of what it means to be human. While humans took their first steps, ancient bloodlines stirred beneath the earth. In the depths of primordial realms, forces older than time itself began to awaken, their power rippling through the fabric of creation. The children of Ymir, the jötnar, grew in strength and number, their hearts filled with bitterness over the death of their progenitor. These giants, born of frost and flame, harbored a deep resentment against those who had slain their father and fashioned the world from his corpse. As the jötnar's power waxed, a new lineage emerged from the frozen wastes. Búri, the first of the gods, rose from the primeval ice, sculpted by the cosmic cow Jötunheim's tongue. From Búri came Borr, and from Borr sprang forth the divine brothers, Odin, Vili, and Vi. These new deities, imbued with the essence of creation itself, stood as beacons of order amidst the chaotic forces that threatened to engulf the nascent cosmos. The birth of the USIR marked a turning point in the cosmic struggle. These gods of order, led by the all-seeing Odin, established their realm in Asgard, a shining citadel that stood in stark contrast to the wild, untamed lands of the giants. The USIR embodied the principles of law, wisdom, and civilization, their very existence a challenge to the primordial chaos from which they had emerged. Yet as the USIR rose in prominence, the delicate balance between realms began to shift. The first signs of tension manifested in subtle ways. Frost crept further south, while tongues of flame licked at the edges of icy domains. The cosmic equilibrium, once held in perfect stasis, now trembled on the brink of upheaval. In Jötunheim, the land of giants, whispers of discontent grew louder, echoing through cavernous halls and across windswept plains. Yggdrasil, the world tree that bound together the 9 realms, shuddered as conflict brewed between the domains it supported. Its roots, reaching deep into the wellsprings of fate, sensed the coming storm. The ash tree's leaves rustled with portents of battles yet to be fought, its branches creaking under the weight of destiny. From Asgard to Niflheim, from Midgard to Muspelheim, the realms felt the tremors of impending strife. In Asgard, the Æsir convened in solemn council, their faces grave as they discussed the growing threat. Odin, one-eyed and all-wise, gazed into the depths of Mimir's well, seeking knowledge of what was to come. Thor, the Thunderer, gripped Mjolnir tightly, its power crackling in anticipation of the battles ahead. Freya, radiant and fierce, prepared her warriors for the trials that would test their mettle. Meanwhile, in the icy wastes of Niflheim and the fiery pits of Muspelheim, ancient powers stirred from their slumber. Frost giants honed weapons of ice that could freeze the very soul, while fire giants forged blades in flames hot enough to melt the foundations of the world. Between these extremes, in the mist-shrouded realm of Jötunheim, the children of Ymir plotted their vengeance against the gods who had slain their father. The tension between order and chaos, between the new gods and the old giants, grew palpable. It hung in the air like the stillness before a storm, electric and foreboding. Each side gathered its strength, knowing that the coming conflict would reshape the very fabric of existence. The giants, with their primal might and ancient grievances, stood ready to tear down the carefully constructed order of the Æsir. The gods, guardians of cosmic law and protectors of the realms, prepared to defend all they had built against the encroaching chaos. As the realms teetered on the brink of war, Yggdrasil's branches swayed with the weight of countless destinies. The Norns, weavers of fate, worked tirelessly at the foot of the world tree, their fingers dancing across threads of gold and shadow. They alone knew the true shape of things to come, the intricate tapestry of triumph and tragedy that would unfold in the days ahead. In Midgard, the realm of humans, mortals went about their lives largely unaware of the cosmic drama unfolding around them. Yet even they felt a change in the air, a sense of unease that crept into their dreams and whispered of greater powers at work. The wise among them looked to the skies, reading omens in the flight of ravens and the patterns of stars, sensing that the world stood on the cusp of a great and terrible change. As the first clash between gods and giants drew near, the very foundations of creation trembled in anticipation. The stage was set for a conflict that would echo through eternity, a battle between the forces of order and chaos that would determine the fate of all the realms. In the silence before the storm, the cosmos held its breath, waiting for the first strike that would shatter the fragile peace and plunge the 9 worlds into an age of legends.